Hello, literature students. It is week 5 and your first essay or project is due this Thursday. And so because we are entering into the completion of your first essay or project 1 and into the long holiday weekend for Independence Day, you have a somewhat shortened assignment list for this week. So last week you were to have submitted your draft to the discussion board, gotten some feedback from some classmates, maybe made some changes to your final essay or project, and then you will be posting that project to Blackboard by Thursday. And because we are entering into that holiday weekend, I have some personal plans too, so I can't guarantee that I'll have it graded over the weekend, but I try to get you your feedback within a week, maybe a week and a half. So look for that and it will appear on Blackboard. I always use a rubric, and so I grade according to each section of the rubric in Blackboard. So you'll have specific scores for each section of criteria I'm looking for. And then if you are sending me a Word document, I sometimes will do track changes in Word and give you feedback in the text, or if you submit a PDF, I will use the feature in Blackboard that allows me to write on the actual text itself. So when you do go to my grades, just dig a little deeper in there and you should see some specific feedback from me. And you will be reading a short piece by Willa Cather this week called The Sculptors Funeral. It's a short story and you are contributing to a discussion on it. And just a little bit about Willa Cather. She was most prolific during the time in which we are analyzing right now, so the early 1900s to right around World War II. And she is a writer who represents the spirit of the pioneer or the frontiers people. She is someone who was born in Virginia. Her family moved to Nebraska. She lived there on the plains with her family. I think they had a rather large family of 7 children. And she went to college in Nebraska, eventually would move to New York to become a journalist, writer, poet, and wrote many novels, short stories, and poetry throughout her life. The most well-known would be ones maybe you've read, My Antonia or Oh Pioneers. Although those are the more well-known ones, she won a Pulitzer Prize for One of Us or One of Ours, which I have not read yet, and I'm realizing I need to put on my Goodreads list. And she focused a lot on the idea of the pioneering or frontiersman spirit and what it meant to survive in the Great Plains. She kind of had a push-pull with nostalgia and feelings of exile, what it meant to be inhabitants of that land that is not a white person's land. I did a little reading on her. It sounds like she shunned being too associated with female writers. She thought that a lot of them were overly sentimental or sappy, although she did give credit to, writers like Austen and the Bronte sisters. She wanted to try to write in a less sentimental fashion to convey the truth, maybe a little more brutally or a little bit more honestly. And we are now learning and acknowledging that she was most likely a lesbian, although there is no coming out for her or proof for her, but she spent most of her adult life with a woman named Edith Lewis, who was an editor in New York City. And so that is something that scholars debate. But I think representation matters, and knowing that she likely was a lesbian is an important thing to know about her and her contributions to American literature. So you're reading that short story, you are submitting the final draft of essay or project 1, and then hopefully you are taking a little break, have a little time off if you're working to celebrate with friends and or family, or just have some precious, quiet, alone time for yourself. So have a great weekend, and if you have questions, just drop me an email as always. Take care. Bye-bye.